Hey, what are you doing?
Hello folks and friends. Today I'm going to be working on another clay sculpture after a long period of time. But I was having an artist block for a while and I didn't know what to create. Luckily, somebody came in contact with me and requested a clay sculpture. They wanted a mushroom. Now I didn't know where to start or how to come up with the idea, but luckily they started giving me more details and concepts that they wanted. So if you guys want to see me create this, let's just get right to the video. Alright guys, now as I have mentioned, today we are going to be working on a mushroom. Now to start this clay sculpture off, we just need some foil and some clay and of course start creating the stem. Now as I was working on the stem, I decided to create the eye holes a little bit shorter. So in order to do that I had to cut off some of the top part of it. And then after that we could start working on the eye holes again. Now for this mushroom, I wanted to create a cute little face, as cute as possible as I could make it. So in order to do this, I had to create some big eyes and make them as separate from each other as possible. And then in the middle, I wanted a big smile for him. Now throughout this process, it was just trial and error, and I just had to figure out some different methods of trying to figure out how to create some kind of creation that would actually look pretty cute. Now, something that I decided to do was use translucent clay for the eyeballs to give it more of that realistic look as an eye. So the way that I did this was create a flat sheet of the translucent clay and place it inside of the stem and coming outside of the eye hole. And surprisingly, it worked. And now it's time for the mouth. I just wanted to create a black sheet of clay underneath the mouth so I won't have to go inside of it and try to paint as much as possible once I finish baking. Off camera, I decided to work on the teeth and the gills, including the tongue as well. Once all of that is finished, we can start working on the cap. But before we do that, I want to show you what I want to do inside of the clay creation. So I had this night light that I want to add. And the reason why I want to add this is because I just want to give it some cool effect, different from pretty much any of my other creations so far. But of course, in order to do that, we need to work on the cap itself. So first we'll start off with the basic structure of the cap, which will be a flat sheet of foil wrapping around the stem. Once we have that, we can start wrapping it around with clay. Now off camera, I was deciding what to do to the creation to give it more of a specific design into the mushroom. And I came up with creating random dots on the cap. And at first it looked terrible, but I was able to add more clay throughout more time and eventually come out with a good looking dome. Once we finish the cap, we can start working on how to show the light that's inside of the clay creation. Now at first I decided to try to use tissue paper, but I thought it was going to burn. So I decided to use wax paper at the end, and it worked out pretty well. Once we finish those little paper pieces, we could start working on the painting process. Now, I use this putty to cover up the eyes so I won't mess them up once the painting process begins. And it worked out pretty well, and I'm probably going to use this method a lot more often. But as you can see, the white came a little chunky throughout the painting process, and I don't know why, but I feel like it gave it more of a texture to the stem, so I was okay with it. For the cap, I decided to go for a green color, which I'm pretty proud of because I decided to use yellow for little details on top of the cap, and it just gave it so much more of a contrast. once those little yellow details are on, we can start working on the tongue, which was just a basic coat of red. Once that is finished, we can start working on the eyes, which was my favorite part because this is what gave it that distinct, cute look, which is because of the big pupils that it has. And I decided to give it one last touch with little white dots to show some kind of reflection. Once that is finished, I could just start touching up on some stuff. And the last step is just to paint the gills brown. We're not done yet. I forgot to show the most important part, the lights. Alright guys, now as you can see, I don't have the clay sculpture with me because I already sold it. But I would like to point out some key details that I enjoyed about the creating process of it. Number one is the size of it. It was about this big, and it was able to be seen from a distance and still be known of what it is, which is a mushroom. So I really enjoyed that. And another thing is the painting process. I did not know where to start for that, but luckily with a couple hours into the process, I was able to figure out what I needed to detail and what I just needed to paint over with one color. Either way guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check out any art outside of my channel, go to Instagram or TikTok at Claycraft Nation, and you'll find many other art projects I've been working on, such as paintings or photography. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video, which is hopefully not in another 3 months. Anyways guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay. Recording? Okay. Go. Okay. What? Oh! Oh, where is it?
Hey, let me see it again.
Yeah, let me just catch up here and just.
Let me. You go get that. Get that.